Hello everyone, welcome to the channel MedTech with Usain Abbas. So far we have discussed about the synopsis writing, and today in this video we have particularly discussed about materials and methods. Now what is material and method, what is methodology, and how to write it down. Okay. So first of all, I have an example of one of my articles, one of the synopsis which I have written for that one. So for that study, I have chosen that study and trying to display to you, and it will be easier for you if you see an example of that one. Okay. So first of all, in methodology section, you have the study design, like you have cross-sectional observational based study in your study setting in which you are trying to do the study, or trying, like it would be the hospital setting, it would be the university setting, or it would be any lab or anything as well. Then you have to collect the sample size, and this would be done by your supervisor as well, and you can do also a open API sample size calculator as well. So here that would be the 349 of that patients or that students as well. You have to mention the sample size if you are collecting from any of the sort of the calculator. This is available online. After that, you have to mention about the sample technique, a non-probability convenient sampling technique. Now, what is the non-probability convenient sampling technique? Let's say you have taken the data of 500 patients, and that was in your inclusion criteria when you are taking the data. But somehow they lost their follow-up list, they lost their data, or they do not provide the main information, or they miss the important informations. So then you are not trying to include that patients or that students. You are trying to make them exclude even though they are included in the study. So that is the non-probability convenience sampling technique, which is most by far also used by many of the studies. After that, you have to make the sample selection. Then how you are selecting the sample, you have to mention them. So okay, so here, like healthcare students of this university of this discipline are selected from this year to this year, and from this age to this age, and if they accept the informed consent form, and if the participants have access and to regularly use of these devices in order to make sure that they are a relatable population, and if they understand this type of questionnaire. Okay. What are your exclusions? That those who do not use these devices, those who have history of previous existing disease particular to this disease or disorder, those who use any sort of drug or any sort of medication which interfere with this one, and those who do not provide a consent. After that, you have to write a data collection procedure. Then how you are trying to collect the data from these sample size. Okay, so you have to mention that there are roughly around like here there are roughly around 3,700 healthcare students at this university from this discipline from this year to this year. Okay, and then you have to show the calculation. You have to show the calculation, all of the calculations, what you are trying to do. You have to show the calculation. You can also upload a screenshot of that calculation that you made these calculations after doing this work. Okay. So before distributing the questionnaire, you have to run the pilot study as well. Now, what is pilot study? Pilot study, basically you are testing the study that either it could be applicable to your desired population or not, or there could be certain sort of biasness or not. Okay. You have to mention about the duration of data collection after getting the IRB approval. Okay, you must mention that you can get a data collected after getting the IRB approval. That sounds ethical. Tell about the confidentiality of patient, that it must be maintained, or the data would be secured by one of the two authors of the study, or it would be under the supervisor supervision. Then come to key variables. There are two independent and dependent variables. Dependent variables are those variables on which the study is dependent, and the independent are those on which are variables which are mainly found in all of the studies, like demographic details, name, age, gender, residency, and health, education. To then come to bedtime devices, what are using these studies. So okay, so these are the variables, and you have to mention that. After that, you have to measure how you would run the analysis, how you would collect the data, and the second thing is how you would run the analysis. So you have to mention, then you have to mention the name of the software as well, their version, and then what exactly test are you are trying to going to run on that. You have to mention that all as well. And after that, ethical considerations. So what are the ethical consideration? How you consider them? How you prioritize your population unbiasedness. You how to process these things, how to sample these things, all of them mentioned in your ethical considerations section. And after that, what questionnaire you are trying to use, you have to also mention them as, okay, if the question is freely available on Google, you can also provide the link as well. You can also provide the some details of, like here, insomnia severity index is a widely used self-report questionnaire designed to assess the severity of insomnia symptoms. Okay, so you have to mention them. And after that, after mentioning all of them, you have to mention the last thing, which is about the project timeline. That here, for this study, like, you can complete the literature review, topic confirmation, all of these things in the first month of study. Then in the body, you are trying to do a second one. How would long the data collection would be? So you have to all of the things mention that. And after that, you are trying to establish that it could be here rather a 9-month study after and with the getting the research approval. Okay, if there are any sort of budget, you can also mention them as well. Okay, and after that, you have to mention the questionnaire, what you are trying to ask from your study population. So I think I make sense, and this video is quite helpful for you if you are trying to write the materials and methods. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe the channel if you like the video, and comment if any of the queries you have.